Fellow citizens, my name is Abu Bakar Kalokoh, Esquire, citizen of Sierra Leone, barrister at law, former flag bearer aspirant, and senior member of the All People's Congress Party. Over the past week, my attention has been drawn to a series of human rights violations against members, supporters, and fans of the All People's Congress around the country, especially in the southeastern region. It is with this background that I've decided to issue this statement. And I am issuing this statement specifically for the attention of His Excellency President Julius Maada B.O. Mr. President, several reports indicate that members of your Sierra Leone People's Party have, since you won the presidency, directed violence at members of the All People's Congress. In that regard, your supporters have unleashed political reprisals of unparalleled magnitude. They have raped our women, brutalized and killed many of our supporters, and have rendered tens of thousands displaced. As I speak, several members and supporters of the APC, as well as persons who hail from the north and western regions of Sierra Leone, have been forced to become refugees in their own country. Sadly, your office and government have, either expressly or tacitly, condoned these unlawful activities. This is a dangerous trend. And this trend is poised to rattle and fragment the very tenuous peace which we vigorously fought for and have enjoyed for close to 2 decades. Let me take this opportunity to remind you, Mr. President, that the Lomé Peace Accord, the existence of which you must acknowledge, forms an elemental portion of Sierra Leone's current political and legal framework. As Sierra Leone's President and Chief Executive, it is your responsibility to uphold the core principles enshrined in that sacred document. Your government's most sacred duty is to ensure that there is security and safety for all citizens, not just those who supported you or voted for you. Thus far, you have fallen short in executing this hallowed duty. I am compelled to refer you to Chapter 2, Section 5, Subsection 2b of the 1991 Constitution, which reads, and I quote, "The security, peace, and welfare of the people of Sierra Leone shall be the primary purpose and responsibility of government." End of quote. It saddens us that you're already abrogating that core and fundamental principle of our supreme law. As citizens and members of the All People's Congress, we remind you to stay true to your undertaking and commitment of uniting our country. When our party was in governance, we placed security, peace, and national cohesion at the center of our governing agenda. We were tolerant, understanding, reasonable, and believed in non-violent means of resolving conflict and differences. Mr. President, we urge you to do the same. We will continue to take note of atrocities and senseless mayhem perpetrated on our supporters under your watch. At the end of it all, our intent is to ask the international community, and by that I mean the Economic Community of West African States, the African Union, the European Union, and the United Nations, to hold you and your government accountable in the event you continue to lead us down the path of another civil war. I am also very concerned about a recent executive order allegedly issued by your office, Mr. President, whereby you declared every Saturday to be a cleaning day around the country. Let me hasten to remind you that your executive order is unconstitutional and not within the ambit of your executive office's duties. You must allow municipal authorities to do their jobs, Mr. President. Cleaning our cities and towns falls within the realm of authority reserved for local and municipal councils. Furthermore, by declaring a cleaning Saturday, you're unlawfully restricting the movement of citizens around the country. Please be reminded, Mr. President, that it is illegal for you to do so. I urge you to pay close attention to Chapter 3 of the 1991 Constitution. That chapter delineates core civic rights to which every Sierra Leonean is entitled. Section 18 of the Constitution specifically states, and I quote, "No person shall be deprived of his freedom of movement, and for the purpose of this section, the said freedom means the right to move freely throughout Sierra Leone and the right to reside in any part of Sierra Leone," end quote. Additionally, Mr. President, Section 19 of our Constitution provides in pertinent part, and I quote, "No person shall be held in slavery or servitude or be required to perform forced labor," end quote. Your executive order declaring every Saturday to be a cleaning day is tantamount to forcible servitude on your own citizens. Accordingly, it should not be condoned or tolerated. Reference is also made to your executive order dated the 9th day of April 2018. In paragraph 5, you directed all state institutions that collect and retain government revenues to deposit funds collected into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. Mr. President, let me remind you respectfully that the Fiscal Management and Control Act of 2017, which forms the backbone of your aforementioned order, is ultra vires the Constitution. It was therefore an error on President Nkrumah's part to have signed it into law. Let me respectfully direct you to Section 111 of the 1991 Constitution. Whilst I concede that Section 111 establishes a consolidated revenue fund into which all revenues or other monies raised or received for the purpose of or on behalf of the government must be deposited, subsection 2A of that section provides an important proviso or qualification to which I'd like you to pay attention. Contrary to your order, statutory bodies with legislative authority to collect and retain revenue cannot legally deposit funds into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. Subsection 2A of Section 111 stipulates, and I quote, "Revenues or other monies referred to in subsection 1 shall not include revenues or other monies that are payable by or under an Act of Parliament into some other fund established for a specific purpose." End of quote. I urge you therefore to consider respectfully withdrawing paragraph 5 of your executive order, cognizant that the Fiscal Management and Control Act of 2017 cannot be lawfully enforced. Let me further remind you, Mr. President, that ours is now a constitutional democracy. Accordingly, your powers and authority are not absolute. Like every citizen, you're subject to the rule of law, which is the supreme power in our land. It is our duty, therefore, to advise, and you must realize that there are circumscriptions and limitations to your authority as president. You cannot issue decrees or executive orders at will. Your orders and directions must strictly comply with limits and boundaries set by our supreme law, the Constitution, and we will help you to religiously abide by its terms. It has also been reported that members of an illegal task force have been harassing civil and public servants around the country. Whilst I have no independent confirmation of this assertion, it is alleged, Mr. President, that your office ordered an unofficial militia to harass and take away government assets from public officers. Mr. President, you need the civil and public service to run an efficient government machinery. And your success as president depends on how well that institution works with you and your willingness to work with them. Harassing public servants is a move in the wrong direction, therefore. I respectfully urge you to withdraw every authority given to militiamen to execute government orders against civil servants and citizens. It is not their role, Mr. President. There is a public service commission, a police force, and a military in the event you feel so strongly about harassing your civil servants and citizens. Let me end by thanking you in advance for taking time to listen to my concerns, and we in the All People's Congress look forward to working with you as you steer our country over the next 5 years. We want to assure you that we're committed to making sure that you succeed as president. For if you succeed, Sierra Leone will succeed. And success is all we wish for you. I wish you the best of luck, and long live the Republic of Sierra Leone.